What's up, everyone? Welcome to MLB Grinders Live. I am your host today, TJ Zwarich. I am not Bean 78 905 203 76 8201, but I still will be doing my best to break down this MLB slate we got for you. And helping me, carrying the load, we got Bobby Gomes. How you doing, Bobby?
Doing well. You're not Dean 78904, but one day you may replace Dean. That's just always been my prediction. I'm going to stick to it. Hopefully not anytime soon, but yeah, good to see you, TJ.
Dean's got to win $1 million and retire first. I'm not going to be pushing him out of anywhere. I'm already busy replacing Steve right now, as the wonderful producer Steve is away. I was going to say celebrating, but really taking care of his brand newborn baby. So shout out to producer Steve one time. But we don't got much time for nonsense today. I'm thankful, actually, because the hardest Grinders Lives to host are like the 4-game, 5-game, 6-game slates, because you got to have so much time filling things in, trying to think of things to talk about. And that's what Dean's so great at. But we got 11 games today, so we don't got much time to mess around. We can go directly straight into it. We also have a Television Tuesday, so make sure you get your guesses in to the RotoGrinders live stream chat in our Discord, and you get one guess per clue. If you get it right, you get 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium. I'll throw the first clue out right now. Clue number 1 for TV Tuesday is Sponge. Sponge is clue number 1 for TV Tuesday. Don't forget to hit the like button, not only to help us out, battle the algorithm, help us grow the channel, but more importantly for you, Spidey Bombs. Every 50 like, we got some home run picks. We have had one hit every single slate for 6 slates in a row with Ezekiel Tovar at plus 675 last night. We're going to keep it going tonight. Bobby, how are you doing? And what are your thoughts on today's 11-game slate?
Yeah, it's a big slate. I wish DraftKings would go easier on these Tuesday slates. I like the 8-gamers, to be perfectly honest. I'm interested to see your clues for Television Tuesday. I won't be participating, but if I have one qualm about Dean hosting, it is these clues and these games. But we're just gonna chug along. So I'll be grading you as your clues come in, and yeah, big slate, some good pitching, some good bats. Feel like every Tuesday you just get the same pitchers, so you have to make decisions on Chris Bassett, who I don't know. I feel like he was on the slate the last time, and I faded him, and he pitched pretty well. I don't know. Schoolball's on the slate. Who else is pitching that I like? Dylan Cease, Luzardo in Coors, Logan Henderson. Logan Henderson? Is he a prospect? What's his deal?
Yeah, young prospect. He has come in absolutely lights out his first 2 games, but he's been limited to around high 70s, low 80s pitches, and he's got that big price hike on DraftKings, but on FanDuel still has a really nice price for him.
Yeah, I'm seeing him at 9,500 on DK, so must be pretty good. Yamamoto versus Arizona, not playing him. Arizona's been red hot. Hayden Birdsong versus KC. I like the price on him, 6.3. Kansas City's just Bobby Witt and then a skeleton crew behind him, pretty much, outside of maybe Vinny Pasquale. It is Fettuccine Tuesday. What is it? What's Pasta Tuesdays or whatever?
Tuesday we can get some Tortellini Tuesday.
Tortellini Tuesday. There you go. Yeah. There's pitchers, there's hitters. That's my slate breakdown.
I like it. We will, of course, get some home run picks from Bobby as well as soon as we get later in the show. So smash the like button. Let me open up to the YouTube chat here. I got to put my like in. Still a ways away from 50, but when we get up there, we got the first Spidey Bomb, maybe even the second at 75 if I'm feeling likely today. No first hit guesses of Television Tuesday yet in the RotoGrinders Discord chats. And we do have a tier list that I made today inspired by being a new parent, as I somewhat am 1 year in. Bobby, it seems like you're constantly got a new one coming. And Steve, of course, just had a new baby as well. So yeah, we got a fun little tiers list today to go along with the slate. Let's start diving fully into the pitching. We got two guys up top, Yamamoto and Skubal, where there's a 1K difference between the two of them on DraftKings. Skubal's quite a bit more expensive. Both of them have tough matchups. How are you going to prioritize these two guys up top?
Yeah, I think Skubal makes the most sense in St. Louis. St. Louis isn't the order that Arizona is. I know you're paying the premium at 11.5 on DK, but for me, he's just the ace on the slate that I think I want to get to the most. Yamamoto's going to fall by the wayside for me. I can see myself being under on Yamamoto versus Arizona, who, like I said, has been absolutely red hot at the dish. So trying to avoid playing my pitchers versus Arizona bats right now.
That's the same thing that I did today. I think I don't have my lineup set yet by any means, but I currently don't have Yamamoto in my pool. I'm playing 150. I'm going without Yamamoto, and I think Skubal is going to be my highest owned. So that's going to be a stand I take, is just try and like double the field on Skubal, get underweight on Yamamoto, and looking right now like I'm planning on doing the full fade. What about that 9K range? We got a chalky Luzardo in a great matchup against Colorado, but it's in Coors. We have Bassett, who has looked either like absolutely elite at times this year, but for the most part has just been his typical good against righties, terrible against lefties kind of pitcher. And then the mystery, Logan Henderson, 2 starts in so far in 2025. He's got 9Ks in one, 7Ks in the other, but he's probably only going to throw about 80 pitches. The matchup against Baltimore is, a lot of power, but also some strikeouts, and they haven't reached their potential this year. How do you plan on handling 9K and above?
Yeah, I think I'm Xing Bassett versus San Diego. I feel like he's ready to implode. I like some of these San Diego bats, mainly Merrill, Tatis, Machado. I'm just not getting a ton of Bassett. Cronenworth, I like him as well tonight. I will say I will be pitching some Luzardo and Coors. It's difficult at 9-3. I know it's Coors. The wind is blowing in, but Colorado stinks. Last night was interesting. Freeland pitched relatively well. It was the bullpen that mainly gave it up. On the back end, I think the Phillies got like 8 or 9 runs from the 7th to the 9th inning. So, yeah, I think it would be Luzardo and Henderson for me. If I had to choose between the two, currently I'm leaning more Luzardo.
I'm debating having Henderson being the only one in my pool that I want to pitch in that of 9K range, but he's also like, with him being all the way up at 9,500, I was fine with that, but I didn't expect him to also be projecting for like 20% ownership with him being that expensive. I thought he was going to be a little bit lower of that in projected ownership. And so I was a lot more interested in taking shots on him when I thought he wasn't going to be like, and he's not chalky, but I still expected him to be coming in lower owned than he is. The Luzardo thing, I think with him coming in 30+% owned, and I've tried the fade against Colorado before, and it's worked out terribly for me. But I still think I'm actually going to go with the Luzardo fade as well today, just because this is a low strikeout against right-handed bat guy. Like he's always struck out a ton of lefties, never struck out very many righties, and he's going to face only right-handed bats tonight. And yes, those right-handed bats are Colorado, and Colorado sucks. But still, with it being in Coors, low strikeout, I just don't really like it. So I think I'm going to go with the Luzardo fade today. For me, it's going to be Skubal and sub 9K. And the sub 9K guy who's looking the best right now is Dylan Cease. Tough matchup against the Blue Jays, but he has looked like regular old ace level Dylan Cease as of late. Only 3 walks combined in his last 2 games, which for him is very good. in general, that's good. But for him, it's very good. Where do you rank, like, if you're picking one pitcher to build around today, is it Skubal or is it Cease?
It's Skubal, but I have Cease ahead of the 9Ks. We just didn't go into the 8Ks. Like, I have Cease ahead of Luzardo and Logan Henderson currently. So I'm with you on Cease. Like, I think he's a really strong play tonight.
Like, he was somebody I was like, just kind of, start the day, look at weather, read Cheese's $1 Million Musings, start diving into it. And
you have time to read articles with kids?
I didn't have as much, not as often lately to do it, but today I did. I got my mom coming over on weekdays right now since I'm covering for Steve. So I got a few more duties. So I got my mom coming over to look after the baby. And the first time I had to make edits and make Beer's 6-pack, it took me about 3.5 hours because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. It took Steve like 30 minutes to do it. It took me 3.5 hours to do the first 6-pack. And so today I like set aside a big chunk of time and I was like, okay, this is when I'm going to do all my edits today. And I got the 6-pack done in less than 90 minutes because I kind of, now that I know what I'm doing, it didn't take near as long. And so I actually had like a good hour and a half where I had planned to be working and I didn't have any work to do. So that's when I got a chance to sit down, relax, and read the musings today. But you're spot on. Since having kids, I haven't been doing near as much reading as I had previously, and more so just taking in as much data as I can.
Yeah, I'm on the data side. I don't really read any of the stuff anymore. Obviously, I used to read Cheese's stuff a ton. I know everyone else does. Yeah, just no time. No time, TJ, no time.
And so when I went in reading that, I kind of like thought in like, yeah, I agree. Dylan Cease is probably going to be the number one option given his price. I expected him to be a lot more, pick up a lot more projected ownership today. We only have him at about 21%. If I switch over to the bat projections, he is at 18% projected ownership. So Dylan Cease coming in much lower than I thought. Maybe he gets steamed up a little bit. But with him being around the same projected ownership as Logan Henderson, I would way rather play Dylan Cease at $700 cheaper than that. So big on Cease today. I currently don't have anybody in my pool between Cease and Will Warren would be the next guy. Are you getting to any Hoagland, Lorenzen, like any of those guys, or is Warren the next guy for you as well?
No, Warren's the next guy for me at 7,500. I think Warren's a really strong play on the slate, but it's showing in ownership, right? Texas, they can strike out a little bit. Lineup's kind of thin without Seager in there. There are some plays you have to be careful for, like Jung, Langford, Garcia. The wind is blowing in New York. I know New York's a bandbox, but should help out Warren a little bit. This lineup just doesn't scare me at all. So I don't mind taking Will Warren versus Texas. In terms of like this ownership, I don't really know. Like I feel like you should be getting a lot of him. I feel like if you're talking about fades, who would you rather fade, him or Skubal?
Like, I would rather fade him than Skubal if I was picking one.
Yeah.
But like the thing with Warren is I'm with you. I look at that ownership and go, okay, maybe I don't really want to play that much Warren. But at the same time, I want to play. There's nobody else there. And like that, especially with that K rate, like he could get lit up for 4 or 5 runs, but still strike out 8 guys and end up being good at that price tag. So he's a tough guy to avoid just because I think he's got such a high ceiling with that high K rate.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. It's tough to. So for me, I don't mind like builds where you're not getting up to Skubal and it's like Will Warren or Cease, or like Will Warren and Luzardo, just builds of that nature, right? Well, I'd like to get Skubal. I just can see different builds where I'm not getting to him as much. Yeah, pretty much I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'd rather be over on Warren for everything that you just said. Like, if he falls behind, he can still get back because he has that high K rate. Skubal, you're paying 11.5 for Skubal, so he better come through, right? Not as much margin for error with Skubal.
12 likes away from the first Spidey Bomb, so keep smashing that like button. I got one for you at 50 likes, one for you at 75 likes, another one at 100, etc., etc. So keep hitting that like button, please, and thank you. We have no correct guesses yet for Television Tuesday. I'll throw out the next guess here and get it scrolling up on the bottom of the screen. Clue number 2 is 100. 100. Clue number 2 is 100. And I will say, I don't know if everyone will know the show. Some people certainly will. I don't know if everyone will know or have seen the show, but I can promise my clues are not Dean clues. They are not synonyms of a clue.
Like I said, I'll be the judge of that.
They're actual clues for the show we're talking about. So number 1 is Sponge. Number 2 is 100. Get your guesses into the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat. 1 guess per clue. Winner gets 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Sub 7,500 below Will Warren among pitchers just looks so gross today. We have a bunch of openers, some potential long relief pitchers, some confirmed ones, but for the most part, this group is just gross. We have the incredibly rare sub 5K pitcher that is not like just got added to the pool and was expected to be a reliever, just got called up. And Sensatella for Colorado, Antonio Sensatella is 4,500 going up against Philly in Coors today. Are you going to get to any of these guys below Will Warren today, like a Littell or a Eric Fetty, Patrick Corbin, Hayden Birdsong? You going to go to any of the cheap options?
If I had to choose, it'd probably be Birdsong versus KC. I guess Warren 7,500. Hoagland's getting the Angels, but I didn't realize Hoagland's 8,500. So, like, I don't think I have any interest there. Maybe I should have more, but do you have Hoagland in your pool currently?
I don't know. Real good hitting weather in that tiny where are they again? Sacramento Stadium.
Sacramento, yeah.
I didn't get to any Hoagland. If he was cheaper, I would take a shot for sure, but just not at 8,500. There's no world in which I would play Hoagland over Cease, and so it just like can't get there.
Would you play a 7K Eric Fetty?
I don't want to, but I'm like so for what it's worth, I'm on the same page as you. Birdsong is my number 1 of that group just because he's the cheapest, 6,300, has some strikeout upside. Probably not a really high pitch count, but at 6,300, we don't really need it. And so he's going to be my number 1, my favorite cheap option, not named Will Warren. The 2 that it's like maybe I take a shot on just because I'm playing a ton of lineups and like 5-ish maximum 10% would be Fetty and Corbin, but I don't really want to do it for either.
I'm with you. Fetty and Corbin would be the 2 outside of Birdsong that I'd have interest in. It's good pitching weather in Yankee Stadium. Corbin could get absolutely blown up by the Yankees tonight. But he's pitched well, seems to add something to his pitch mix. I have no idea what.
I think Eric Johnson in chat was talking about his new slider.
Yeah, he's throwing it. I knew he was throwing something different because I seen like a YouTube video. 7,300. I guess you could throw. It's nothing to write home about below Will Warren though. Like Fetty, Birdsong, Corbin. I'd rank them Birdsong, Fetty, and then Corbin.
Same thing. Same thought process for me there. That Detroit team, real life, has been playing really well. Fantasy perspective, they really only have 2, maybe 3 bats that I'm worried about. So Fetty, and Corbin are two guys that I'll just kind of close my eyes, cross my fingers, hope that they can get 15-ish points, and that being enough if Warren and or Birdsong happen to fail for that portion of those lineups. Speaking of Fetty, we did just have Spidey Bomb number 1 plus Riley Green. I actually put typo in chat. I put plus 625. He's plus 525 for Riley Green. And so Riley Green, Spidey Bomb number 1. Second one coming at 75 likes, which we are already very close to. So keep hitting that like button. We got 2 clues for Television Tuesday. We got Sponge and 100 for clues for Television Tuesday. Get your guesses into the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat.
I'm a little worried about the trajectory of these clues. Just throwing it out there.
You're worried?
Yeah.
I'm willing to. I'm going to accept that you're probably not going to like it because I don't think you'll have seen this television show. But I'll say if you haven't, you should, because it's one of the very best television shows of all time. So that is a bonus clue for you, everybody. One of the best television shows of all time.
That's your opinion, though. It might not be everyone else.
Objectively, in terms of critical acclaim, it's also one of the best of all time.
Okay.
Give me a recap of what you're doing today at pitcher, and then we'll start getting into the tier board.
Yeah, it's Scooble, Will Warren, Cease, Lazardo, Logan Henderson, and down low, like sprinkled in, I'll have some Hayden Birdsong, Eric Fetty, and Patrick Corbin.
All right. I was hoping you'd give me a little bit more so that I
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
I gotta get the tier list up. I gotta find a new one on Google every time to use, because anytime you try and use the same one twice or create one, now the tier list makes you try and subscribe to an account to get past the page. And so I have to find like a new MLB tier list that somebody else has made on Google each time.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's basically like Will Warren and up, or Scooball and I don't know. I wouldn't pitch Scooball and Will Warren together, though. That's kind of something I'd probably group away from each other, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably a good deal. If like either group them apart, or if you're playing them together, do it with a lower
differentiated stack. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got the tier list almost ready here. I found a board, just adding in the names right now. We got the first 3. The tier list that I created today, like I said, inspired by the wonderful producer Steve having a new baby at home. Bobby and I both dealing with some babies and toddlers and things of the like roaming around the house. I know Kevin Roth on the next show's got some young ones. I know KirkDiese has some young ones. And Beer, I think his may have grown up a little bit, but that is the theme of today, with today also being a Television Tuesday. I tiered the best to worst shows that you have to watch with your kid when they're a little baby and wanting to watch some television. And so
I can assure you Dean is not making young ones right now.
There we go. Tier list popping up. So in tier 1, we got Bluey, the GOAT. If you're unfamiliar with Bluey and you have
I'm unfamiliar with Bluey, I've never seen it.
You gotta throw that out. You gotta throw that on. That's the number 1.
How do you not have Blippi on there?
The Bluey is the number 1 to watch as a parent, but also the kids absolutely love it. Number 2, you got Bobby's go-to, Miss Rachel.
Not my go-to. If me and Kirkwood were doing this, she'd be dead last. She'd be in the gutter.
Bobby loves himself some Miss Rachel. That's his girl. That's what he sometimes he watches Miss Rachel even when the kids aren't home. So the educational channel, Miss Rachel. Number 3, just even keel. Been there from the day one. Some highs, some lows. They lost their platform on their network, but Netflix is picking them up to keep them alive. We got Sesame Street. always going to be there. Steady, good. Not a great stack, a good stack in there. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is just annoying. I'm not a fan of Peppa Pig. She sucks in tier 4. And number 5, the worst tier of them all. The stacks we would never play. We would never touch these stacks with a 10-foot pole. If you got a little baby, do not put Caillou on the television. That kid is the worst. And if you don't want your kid to be the worst, get Caillou out of there.
Who's Caillou?
Just a shitty, annoying little kid. And it was a very popular show for a while, and I think it's finally calmed down. But it's the worst. It's the worst of these kids shows. I got some other great shout outs in the list. Some Baby Einstein, some Little Bill should be at the bottom. Blue's Clues should be at the top. Absolutely, as it should. Many of the chat are agreeing with the placement of Bluey. But
have you never seen Blippi?
Only 5 spots. What?
Have you never seen Blippi?
I have not seen Blippi.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't watch it then, because your kid's gonna like it, and it's absolutely miserable.
Kirkwood in the chat, he is pro Bluey with me. He's agreeing with that one at the top tier. But like I said, everybody, there's some great suggestions in there. We only had 5 that I could choose, and I obviously had to get the GOAT Bluey at number 1. I obviously had to get Bobby's GOAT, Bobby's number 1, Miss Rachel.
She's not at number 1.
At number 2. And then go from there. Might as well drop clue number 3 for Television Tuesday while we're at it as well. So clue number 3 is Spirit. Clue number 3 for Television Tuesday is Spirit. We have Sponge, 100, and Spirit as the 3 clues for Television Tuesday. Get your guesses in to the RotoGrinders live stream Discord chat. 1 guess per clue. Winner wins 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium. I think that's, let me check the light, see if we got another Spidey Bomb. And if once all that is taken care of, we can get into our tier list here. So we are ready for another Spidey Bomb. I'll get that locked and loaded and ready to go. But in the meantime, Bobby, why don't you tell me your thoughts on the first game? We have Houston at Tampa. No total over 5 in this game, but I think it's really interesting considering we got almost 90-degree heat with the winds blowing out.
Yeah, it's great hitting weather in both Houston and Tampa. I will say the totals for this game, both implied team totals, have dipped slightly. I know if you run Sims for RG currently right now, Houston is going to pop very hard. I'm only playing Houston as minis. So for me, Houston currently, unless this wind is like ridiculous, which it doesn't look like it is, 12 to 10 miles an hour. Actually, maybe I should probably play 5-man Houstons. All right, let's put Houston in Miss Rachel and Tampa in Miss Rachel.
Both teams in Miss Rachel. No qualms from me there. We got Spidey Bomb number 2 ready to go. First one, Riley Green, plus 525. Second one is Dalton Varsho, plus 475. I do like Dylan Cease today, but I think Dalton Varsho is going to take him deep for 1, plus 475. He is the next one. Let's see here. Where are these teams? We got Tampa Bay going in Miss Rachel, facing off against Houston, going in Miss Rachel. All right, next game on the board, we got Texas going up against New York. Texas going up against that Will Warren, who we like to pitch today, but he is going to be somewhat chalky, maybe some leverage there. And then the Yankees, one of the highest implied totals on the slate, up over 5. What are you doing with the Yankees and the Rangers?
Yeah, the Yanks, for me currently, I would put the Yankees. The hitting weather isn't great. It is a bandbox. Let's put the Yankees in Miss Rachel. So there's 4. I don't really love, I'm trying to think of which Yankees I have interest in. Judge, Goldschmidt for sure. How many, It's really just the righties, and they're throwing a bunch of lefties in there. Grisham, Ballinger. I guess Volpe would be my next favorite Yankee. Yeah, LeMahieu's back. He made the order. Don't think I'll play him, but at 2,700 first base, second base, maybe I should consider it more. Yeah, those are the Yankees I like. And for Texas, Wyatt Langford, I think he could tag Will Warren at that ownership. Adalis, I think those guys are in play. If I had to put Texas ranked, I'd probably put Texas in what's Peppa Pig, maybe? Peppa Pig works.
Team I probably wouldn't want to be playing today, except for the fact that Will Warren's coming in really highly owned. So that's why I think they stick in the pool in number 4. Agree with you there. No qualms from me on any of these. We do have our winner for Television Tuesday in the YouTube chat, or in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord. I will still keep revealing all the clues so people can play along in the YouTube chat if they want to. If they did not see the winner in the Discord, they can continue to play around. But we do have our winner. Shout out to Blink182Rue for winning 1 free week of RotoGrinders Premium for taking down Television Tuesday. I'll still give the two last clues, but we do have our winner. Next game on the slate, we got San Diego going into Toronto, 2 teams with totals below 4. 2 high-end pitchers. Cease, great strikeout guy, great for DFS. Gets tagged with a little bit of power, walks few too many guys. Bassett, elite to the righties, terrible to the lefties. What are you doing with San Diego and Toronto?
Just looking through it now. I don't really have a ton of Toronto. What's their team total? 4.1, something like that.
375 in our.
Went down. Yeah. Yeah, I like Cease. I'll tell you that. I liked your Varsho call. I like Santander a little bit. But I think these guys are mainly one-offs for me, so we can throw them in Peppa Pig and on the Toronto side. San Diego, I'd put San Diego in Sesame Street. I like Merrill. I like Cronenworth. I like Tatis. Probably just a mini for me. But I do think Bassett can get blown up occasionally, and those bats stand out. You throw Machado in there. It's just like, do you want to play Sheets and Hayward?
Yeah.
In 5 stacks or Luis Arias, and I just don't have that much interest in doing that.
Sesame Street, did you put them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always love playing Tatis, Merrill, Machado. It's just when we go to the full stack, it's like Cronenworth's the 4th one, and I never really can find a 5th guy on San Diego that I actively want to play. I feel the same way. That's what the issue is. Yeah, I guess Bogarts, I guess Sheets. Sheets' price is starting to come down, but I liked doing that a lot better at the beginning of the year when Sheets was like $2,500. Ever since he went to Coors, it has taken them a long time to drop that salary all the way back down. So we got Tampa, Houston, and the Yankees in the Miss Rachel tier. Sesame Street, we got the Padres. Peppa Pig, we got the Rangers and the Blue Jays. Trying to adjust the way I say things, because when we say in tier 2, when we say just the way we worded it the first time, I think maybe wasn't the best. And so I'm trying to adjust how we say it.
What do you mean?
In the Miss Rachel tier is what we will say. Putting the team in the Miss Rachel tier. White Sox, Mariners, big park upgrade for the Mariners going into the White Sox Stadium. White Sox have a little baby implied team total below 4, like they always do. I believe the wind's blowing in. Let me double check that. But what are you doing with Seattle and the White Sox?
Yeah, I like Seattle a good bit. Probably putting Seattle in Bluey. I think that's where I have to go with Seattle. Cal Raleigh didn't get there last night. I'm pretty positive he'll likely get there tonight. It was J-Rod with the grand slam last night. I hate rostering Julio Rodriguez, but he's fine tonight. Rosarena, sorry. I don't know how I read Arizona. Rosarena in the 5-hole, don't mind him. Polanco's probably on steroids, but that's fine for us until he gets caught. Yeah, the only issue, like Dylan Moore is probably my favorite of the rest. You could throw Rowdy Tellez in there too to basically add another bat, but I don't want to play Tavares, Crawford, and Ben Williamson. Those aren't guys I'd love to get to. Looks like Crawford's probably going to get a little ownership on the leading off there. Maybe I should have more interest, but yeah.
All right. What about the White Sox side of things?
It's just they're the White Sox. Literally no one, maybe like Elko at 3-2 in large field as a one-off. Put the White Sox in Kalui or whatever that you call it, and I have no idea what that says.
Apologies, I was responding. I was making jokes in chat with Hammer. What year do you have in that? Sorry.
Where do you think I have the White Sox, TJ?
Caillou, probably.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that, so yeah.
If people have seen Caillou, you know it's the worst. I also just made sure I wasn't leaving anything obvious out, and I just Googled worst kids TV shows. And Caillou was just like number one at the top of the list. So I was like, okay, perfect. New.
I can't believe you don't have Blippi. Like I think Blippi's like made over a couple $100 million off owning that show.
Who is this guy?
You've never seen Blippi, dude?
No.
Notorious told me to put it on for my kid because I was sick of watching Miss Rachel. It wasn't bad. The songs will absolutely kill you eventually, but
some fun little orange suspenders with an orange little hat.
Yeah. Handyman Hal. You haven't seen Handyman Hal? You don't watch YouTube with the kid?
No, we're more like Disney Plus with the kid as opposed to YouTube, at least so far. But we'll see. We'll see if we make the if we adapt to it at all. We got Cleveland and Minnesota, another game, 2 totals below 4.
Isn't it postponed?
Oh, that's the postponed one. Sorry.
Yeah,
so Baltimore and Milwaukee. The next one, we have Baltimore going up against Henderson, the young gun who's striking a ton of guys out so far, against Milwaukee with a healthy 4.5 implied run total for them. Where do you got Baltimore and Milwaukee?
Baltimore, I think you can throw in we can throw Baltimore in Sesame Street, I guess. That price tag going up for Henderson's kind of scary this early, and Baltimore does have bats that can tag him with Henderson, Mullins, O'Hearn, Laureano, Adley Rushman. Yeah, that's fine. Milwaukee, I actually kind of like Milwaukee a little bit tonight, mainly Yelich, Churio, Wilson Contreras, Rhys Hoskins. Chase McDermott, he's the opener. Who's coming in behind him?
For Baltimore?
Yeah.
Aiken.
Yeah, for me, like Milwaukee's in. I just wouldn't want to stack against the opener. I'd throw Milwaukee in Sesame Street.
And did you have Baltimore there as well? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Baltimore, yeah, there as well.
Baltimore, Sesame Street, Milwaukee, Sesame Street. So we got 2 teams in Tier 3, 2 in Tier 2. Seattle all alone in Tier 1 so far. Toronto and Texas down in the Peppa Pig Tier 4, and the Sox below us in the bottom tier. I'll throw out clue number 4 for Television Tuesday for anyone still playing along. We, of course, do still already have the winner, Blink 182 Rue, in the RotoGrinders live stream Discord, but I'll throw out the next clue anyways. Clue number 4. Let me pull up my notes app here because I forget what it is. Redemption. Redemption is clue number 4. Clue number 4 for Television Tuesday is Redemption. Let's see how close we are to a third Spidey Bomb coming, of course, at 100 likes. Let me give a refresh, see where we're at. 98. Very, very close, Bobby. So after you give the next two tiers here, I'll make sure I have another Spidey Bomb ready to go. Detroit at St. Louis. Fetty going up against Scooball. I don't care that Scooball's chalky. I feel like we know St. Louis has got to be a tier 5 team, right?
Yeah, St. Louis is a tier 5 team. Detroit's a little bit more difficult. Like, it's just Riley Green and Carpenter. I think that they're fine as minis. I would put them in Sesame Street. You would have put them in Peppa Pig?
No, I think I'd have gone Sesame Street for them also. Like, I don't love the full stack, but I do quite like the mini stack of Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green. That's probably among my favorite mini stacks on the slate. So I think they're pretty perfect to put there in Sesame Street. We do got Spidey Bomb number 3 plus 525. Pete Alonso, or sorry, not Pete Alonso. Paul Goldschmidt is Spidey Bomb number 3. Jeez, it's hard to do all these things at once.
Goldschmidt hasn't hit anything but a single in like a month.
What do you think his ISO is against lefties this year?
Is it pretty good? I know it's pretty good because I went through Plate IQ earlier today. So I'm
486 ISO against lefties so far.
Yeah.
It is a small sample size, but with a 70% hard hit rate, second to only Aaron Judge in the entire major leagues. So going with Paul Goldschmidt, Spidey Bomb number 3. So we got Riley Green. Second one was Dalton Varsho. Third one, Paul Goldschmidt. Let me just get these written here so we can scroll them as well. Next on the slate to break down, put in tiers, we got Philadelphia at Colorado. Coors, a very rare 7 implied run total for Philly tonight. They're going to be somewhat chalky, but considering it's an 11-game slate and they're expensive, they're actually not that chalky considering they got a 17 total. What are you doing with Colorado and the Phillies tonight?
Yeah, Phillies are pretty much very easily in bluey. Really like Harper, Schwarber. I think they're both in line to go yard tonight. Probably not going to get good odds on them, I would imagine. Sensadell is atrocious. And then Colorado, I think you put them in Peppa Pig. Their team total did go up a little bit. They have Tovar back. First at bat last night, you got that Spidey Bomb from Tovar, TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Toggly,
one good batter in their lineup.
Toggly and Goodman are fine, but I don't know. I kind of like Luzardo, so yeah.
Yeah, they're a much better team against left-handed pitching, at least from power standpoint, than they are in the right one.
Would you bump Colorado to Sesame Street?
No, but I was thinking that's what I was kind of leading to, is I wouldn't mind doing that. I do like the Rockies tonight from a power perspective, going up against Luzardo, sub 20% K rate to righties, probably more as a mini stack than a full stack, but I do think with Luzardo being among the chalkiest pitchers that they are kind of interesting. So what are your thoughts? Are you good if I move them up to Sesame Street? Or
I'm good with it, yeah, because I do like more than just Tovar. I like Toggly and Goodman. It's a skeleton crew in Colorado. Their announcer wasn't even paying attention to the game last night.
What did you say, sorry?
Their announcer wasn't even paying attention to the game. It was so bad in the beginning. Freeland struck some guy out with a sweeper, and he missed the pitch, and he said on air, he's like, "Yeah, I missed the pitch. I didn't see that." Because he just wasn't paying attention. I don't blame him.
That's actually quite funny, but interesting. And more as a mini stack, I agree. Get you some Tovar, maybe some Toglia, some Doyle, Goodman, Beck. All of those guys look pretty interesting tonight. Kansas City at San Francisco. Got about 20 minutes left till the crunch time crew comes in. So we do got to slow things down a little bit, take our times, even on an 11-game slate, still find a way to power through things here whenever Dean's not here. When there's always so many people in chat throughout Dean's shows that hit us with the, hey, can we get back to DFS? Can we get back to DFS? You've been talking about this for so long. This is why, people, because if you stick just DFS the whole time, we end 20 minutes before the crunch time crew gets here. So you absolutely got to mix some of that in to be able to make it. But Kansas City going at San Francisco, Birdsong and Lorenzen, two pitchers we shouldn't be afraid to attack. But with this game being in San Francisco at Oracle, not all is that right, or is Oracle the Golden State Warriors? Is it all Oracle? I don't remember.
But I still think it's Pac Bell. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Yeah, with this game going on in San Francisco, kind of always a big downgrade for offenses with the big park and the wind mitigation.
Yeah, I can't stand Kansas City. Just like I want them to be good, and they're just not. I put them in Peppa Pig. There's Bobby Witt. I think he's fine. Salvatore Perez is fine, but like the rest of the lineup outside of Vinny P stinks. So I have no interest in playing Jonathan India. I pretty much say it every show. So Peppa Pig for me, and that for KC, and then San Fran. I think there are some good San Fran bats in this lineup. Willie Adames, Chapman. Don't mind Yastrzemski. Don't mind Tyler Fitzgerald. As my kids come home, I'll throw them in Sesame Street.
Sesame Street for the Giants?
The Giants, yeah, and Casey and Peppa Pig.
Casey and Peppa Pig, thank you for elaborating that. I'm just like the Rockies announcer, missing the pitches. I'm missing what tiers I'm supposed to be putting teams in. But the Giants up in Sesame Street, the Royals down in Peppa Pig, no qualms for me there. I have a tough. I feel like I probably won't get much to either of these teams, but even still, I think San Francisco, especially, definitely, they always show that they have a big chance to go off. Speaking of going off, we got a big total in this one above 10, 4.6 implied run total for the Angels, 5.9 for the Athletics today. Athletics finally returning home after they've been away from their home park for a while. And they get a matchup in their small little park in Sacramento against Kyle Hendricks. Just an absolute perfect matchup. You couldn't ask for much better. Start with the Angels and then lead me into the Athletics. Where do you got these guys?
Yeah, the Angels have been pretty good. Really like Zach Neto. He's come along. Don't mind Taylor Ward, Soler. No Trout in this lineup, but they are playing versus the Athletics in Sacramento in that bandbox. Logan O'Hoppe, I don't mind in the 5-hole at 3,800. If I had to put the Angels, I might put the Angels in Miss Rachel. Where someone was talking about transgressions for Blippi in the chat, and Miss Rachel has some transgressions too. I will say.
Miss Rachel has some transgressions. Blippi has some transgressions. What's with all these people and their transgressions? What do non-children shows if you got some transgressions? Nothing wrong with transgressions. I mean, I guess that's a bad transgression. I shouldn't say that without knowing.
Blippi's transgression is like pretty bad.
Oh.
I would say.
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't say that without knowing anything. But do some other than children's shows, you weird people.
I don't think it's you just have to. You'll find it if you dig.
Boney said the original Blippi had a video researches of him doing something pretty nasty. So that's
I forget what the video is called, but I was looking for it like 2 weeks ago and told my girlfriend to watch it because she didn't believe me.
That's terrible. That's just embarrassing above anything else, I think. We got one more clue.
It's more embarrassing for him than
Yeah, exactly. We got one more clue coming in for Television Tuesday. We do have our winner in the RotoGrinders Discord already, but if you are playing along at home, clue number 5 is Elements. Elements is clue number 5. Where'd it go? There we go. Television Tuesday. So we have Sponge, 100, Spirit, Redemption, and elements as the 5 clues for Television Tuesday. The Spidey Bombs, we got Riley Green, Dalton Varsho, and Paul Goldschmidt. If you want a 4th one, I got a 4th one ready for you. All you got to do is get up to 150 likes, and we will have Spidey Bomb number 4 coming to the people. Where do you got the Athletics?
Yeah, Athletics and Bluey. Lawrence Butler. Soderstrom, I think, is my favorite from the Athletic side. Rooker, you can always play. I'm sure Beer had him in the 6-pack. Athletics look really good tonight. Langeliers or Shea Langelier. Yeah.
Yeah, are they going to? I think they're my favorite stack of the slate. What about you?
Yeah, they're pretty close to it. Yeah, I like the Athletics a good bit.
Yeah,
I like the Angels too. Like I played the Angels a bit last night. I don't mind the Angels.
With both of these teams, you just get so much access to power at such cheap prices. Like Taylor Award at 3,500, Soler at 34, Ohapi at 38. Neto is the only one you got to pay for, and it's the same thing with, and he's not that expensive. And it's the same thing with the A's. Rooker is the only one you got to pay for, but he should probably be $1,000 more expensive. Soderstrom, Butler, Langeliers, like even Blade and Kurtz at cheap. A lot of power for a lot of really, really cheap price tags. So I'm with you there. I like the Angels, and I think the Athletics are probably number 1 for me. We got Arizona going up against Yamamoto, and then we have the Dodgers going into Arizona against Ryan Nelson, and the Dodgers slightly lower implied run total than Oakland, but very, very close. Where would you rank these two teams, Arizona and the Dodgers?
Dodgers and Bluey. It's a good night for offense. Dodgers and Bluey. Ohtani, Betts hit 2 last night. If that catcher makes the lineup, who's cheap, I don't mind him. Teoscar's back in there. Yeah, I like the Dodgers a good bit. And then Arizona and Peppa Pig. Like Arizona's been red hot. They're just going against Yamamoto, Carroll. Yeah, Gino Suarez, I don't mind. It's tough for Yamamoto to really do much. So I don't know. Arizona and Peppa Pig. Where would you have Arizona?
I guess probably Peppa Pig. Like it's tough because Arizona's such a good team, but it also is Yamamoto. I don't want to play Yamamoto because he's facing Arizona, and I don't want to play Arizona because he's facing Yamamoto.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It just kind of feels like a game where they're going to score 4 runs, and I don't want the pitcher or the stack.
Yeah.
What about Dodgers? You got them in tier 1, Bluey, or tier 2?
In Bluey.
Talk to me about the Dodgers tonight. Who would you prioritize from them outside of obviously Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, Mookie, I think's red hot. Don't mind him. Muncie's been kind of getting back, so he's fine. Pajes. If Rushing makes the lineup, I don't mind him at 2,900. Will Smith. It's all the regulars, really. Freddie. Yeah. Maybe we should move Seattle down. I ran Sims in Seattle, hit the first one. Maybe put Seattle in. Misrate. Do you like the Seattle stack?
I do like the Seattle stack, and I'm good with them in tier 1 or 2 because I think they're my 4th favorite stack. So it's like after these 3, I would have Seattle, but I'm kind of okay with them in either tier because they're either the worst of tier 1 or the best of tier 2.
Yeah, I think Seattle picks up a good bit of ownership just because you can get to a lot of their bats cheap. You can leave them in tier 1, but I wouldn't mind moving them back to tier 2. But
tier 1.5 for Seattle. How would you rank the Phillies, the A's, and the Dodgers in terms of like 1, 2, 3?
That's it. Phillies, A's, just Dodgers. I think I'd prefer playing the A's more than the Phillies, though, just for the ownership. But then again, like you hit on at the beginning of the show, ownership's not going to matter, right? Because everyone's going to be pretty much it's 11 games. Like it'll be spread out enough where it doesn't matter.
All right, we will finalize our list here. We got the Phillies, the A's, the Dodgers in tier 1, Seattle at the top of tier 2 with the Rays, Houston, the Yankees, and the Angels. Tier 3, Sesame Street. We have the Padres, the Orioles, the Brewers, the Tigers, the Rockies and Coors, and the Giants. In Peppa Pig, don't like the stacks, but do have some players that we'd want to play. We got Texas, we got the Blue Jays, we have Kansas City and Arizona. And then all the way at the bottom in Caillou, show you never want to watch with your kids, the Chicago White Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. We got 3 Spidey Bombs already. I can put them back scrolling here. Riley Green, Dalton Varsho, and Paul Goldschmidt. How about you, Bobby? Who you got to hit a home run tonight?
I really like the Varsho call. My main guy is going to be Soderstrom for the Athletics. Like him a good bit. Outside of that, we can go. Let's go Cal Raleigh. I know he was everyone's home run pick last night. He didn't get there. He probably gets there tonight. Soderstrom, Raleigh, and Jackson Merrill. Those will be my 3.
All right. I like it. Some great calls from Bobby. We did have our winner early on for Television Tuesday, but I will unveil the winner, Blink-182 Rue, and the show that we were talking about. Keep it in theme with, although it's a kid show, that is not entirely a kid show today because it's also beloved by adults. We got Avatar, The Last Airbender. Clue number 1. Where did it go here? Clue number 1, Sponge, because it aired on Nickelodeon with SpongeBob SquarePants, the number 1 most popular kid show of all time, which I never actually really liked, but it is the most popular kid show of all time. And in the last 30 years, SpongeBob SquarePants has won the Nickelodeon Award for Kids' Choice Award, something for Best Kids TV Show, except for 2. When Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You picked SpongeBob? That's what the show was?
No, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Which it was dethroned twice by Avatar number 2, 100, because he, of course, disappeared for 100 years, as it states in the intro. Number 3, Spirit, because the show is all about spirits and the spirit world, etc. Number 4, Redemption, because it has what is considered to be the best redemption arc in, if not children's media, among all media, with Prince Zuko. And number 5, Elements, because it's about bending the elements.
Oh my God.
Television Tuesday, easy win on Clue 3, right at the beginning for Blink-182. We had multiple people getting it all at one time, but Blink-182 Rue was, of course, first. All right. Why don't you give me a recap of your favorite pitchers on the slate before we got the crunch time crew starting to roll in here?
Yeah, pitching, going back. I think it's Scooball, Will Warren, Dylan Cease. Then it's like a flip a coin between Henderson and Luzardo. And then if you're going down, it would be Birdsong, Fetty, and some Patrick Corbin, a sprinkle of Corbin. I guess a sprinkle of Fetty too. Birdsong would be the one that I would prioritize out of the cheapies.
My big fade of the day is going to be Luzardo for me. I'm going with 0 Luzardo in 150. I'm going 0 Yamamoto in 150. And those are going to be my 2 big fades. I wanted to maybe play some Bassett, but I don't think I'm going to get there. I'm still undecided on Logan Henderson if I want to pay all the way up there on DraftKings with still some higher ownership than I expected. Feast, Warren, and Scooball are for sure going to be my highest own, but then I will just take some, like I said, I think I called it eyes closed, fingers crossed shots on Patrick Corbin, Eric Fetty, and Hayden Birdsong. But Birdsong is the only one of those group that I have even any like somewhat moderate confidence in, because he's going up against Kansas City in a great pitcher's park in San Francisco.
He's 6,300 too, right? Like,
yeah, like you can only
he's in line for the win.
You can only go so wrong with 6,300. Riley Green, Dalton Varsho, Paul Goldschmidt as the 3 Spidey bombs today. Let's take a peek at the expert survey and go through some of those questions for you, Bobby, because I know that is Dean's favorite time killer to close out the show. So starting with you, who would be your favorite pivot off the chalk pitcher tonight? Like Skubal, Cease, Luzardo, Warren, these guys are going to be somewhat chalky. Who's your favorite sneaky pitcher for tournaments tonight?
I would say Birdsong.
I think that is for me too. Like, I think just because of that matchup and where he's playing, I think Birdsong would be the guy for me as well. What about for stacks? We got our top stacks of Seattle, the Athletics, Phillies, the Dodgers. Who would be your top sneaky stack tonight?
I think it's Oakland. Well, I don't even think they're really that sneaky.
No,
but
they're one of the top stacks. They're
one of the top stacks. San Diego, maybe.
I like that. I think for me, it's the Rockies. Nobody ever really wants to play the Rockies anymore, even when they are in Coors. We currently don't have a single Rocky projecting for double-digit ownership. Tovar's the highest at 9. So I think Rockies would be number 1 for me.
Actually, San Diego's total went down. I don't love that. I like your Rockies call. Are the Angels chalky?
I just did a refresh and we just got a new ownership update here. So we got brand new ones. No Soler in the lineup. No Lugo in the lineup. No, they're not. Like Taylor Ward was projecting for double-digit ownership earlier in the day, but that's just dropped to sub 10. He's really the only one who's picking up any type of ownership today.
Yeah, I'd say the Angels in that park. That lineup isn't the greatest without Soler, and who else was moved?
Lugo, who doesn't really matter, but the Soler one, pretty big deal. Let's see. What else do we have here? If you got any questions, feel free to throw them into the YouTube chat or the live stream Discord chat. We can hit your questions before we get out of here and the Crunch Time crew comes in again. Thoughts as Legumina as a bulk reliever versus the White Sox in tournaments today for Seattle. You going to play any bulk reliever Legumina for the White Sox?
I guess you can pitch anyone versus the White Sox. What do we have him for in terms of his pitching? Like how many pitches is he going to throw? Do we know he's coming in?
I don't know if we know for sure. Let me check in terms
Cheese
of
will know.
What?
Cheese will know. Is he not? Oh, yeah.
We're currently in the bat. They have him projected for 17 pitches. So I don't.
Yeah, there's no way I'm pitching him.
I don't think Legumina is somebody that we want to be going for today.
He's starting too. Is he the opener? Is he starting? What's going on?
I am not. He is the opener. He is not the long reliever.
He's the opener, yeah.
So do not play that dude. Let's see here if we got any other questions. I'm going to just bring the Crunch Time crew in as soon as they come in because we might as well. Cease and Rooker or Skubal and Caballero tonight. Oh, no, Cease and Turner. So Trey Turner and Dylan Cease or Skubal and Caballero.
I'd probably go Cease and Turner.
Yeah, I think Cease and Turner probably the way I don't know. I think I'd actually go Skubal and Caballero in that one, but both totally fine options. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Did I miss something? I just got a tweet that said TJ Zwarich is going to be hosting Crunch Time. Did I miss something? Is Roth gone, or was that just a mistake in the tweet? Let's see. Going to the schedule, does it still have Roth there? Or am I doing double duty? Finding out live, everybody. No, Roth is still coming. It was just a missed tweet. We're good. K-Town's Finance says, my bad. Casey Lawrence is the bulk reliever. But what about Walter for H-Town? He pitched well in Triple A's. What are your thoughts on the Houston pitcher today going up against Tampa Bay? Brandon Walter, 6.8K bulk reliever.
We have him for 60 pitches.
Yeah.
I would prefer Walter to whoever was named Casey Legumina, but
the opener.
The opener, I don't think I'm playing any Walter currently.
Alex says, who are you putting together for your SP1, SP2 for DK Cash? I do not play Cash, but if I were, it would be 2 out of the 3 of Skubal, Cease, Warren. I would try and get Skubal, Cease if I could not make a team that I liked.
I think it should be Skubal, Warren, right?
I'm fine with any of those 3. As long as you're having 2 of those 3, Skubal, Cease, Warren, I don't think you're wrong.
But for the price, like you're getting Warren at 1,000 cheaper than Cease.
If I go
1,300 more, Cease is 1,300 more than Warren, and you have the K upside with Warren.
Skubal is the only quote unquote somewhat safe pitcher on the slate, though. If we're looking at it from a cash game perspective, he's also the raw points highest projected guy. Projects for over 5 points more than Warren and Cease. Weirdly enough, if you do the bat optimal lineup right now, it tells you to go Skubal and Fetty. But let me switch to RotoGrinders, see what the optimal gets me right now. Warren and Skubal. So both of them have Cease. Both the RotoGrinders and the bat optimal lineup have Skubal instead of Cease, and Warren as the cheap option instead of Cease as the SP2. So they actually have him, Cease being the one left out. But I think as long as you're going 2 of Cease, Warren, and Skubal, that is correct for the DK Cash kind of build. But they, of course, will dive into that more on Crunch Time when the Crunch Time crew comes in. You got KirkDiese, you got Beer, you got Kevin Roth coming in talking about the weather. Spidey Bomb scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We are only about 30 likes away from another one. So keep hitting that like button. I'll be here behind the scenes when the Crunch Time crew pops in. And so as long as you guys get up to 150 with them there, I will still drop the 4th Spidey Bomb. We got, we're 8 likes away now. Good job, everybody. Maybe we can do it before the Crunch Time crew comes in. We got Riley Green, Dalton Varsho, and Paul Goldschmidt as the 3 so far. Who are your home run picks, Bobby? Remind the people for if they just came in for Crunch Time.
One of them was Raleigh. One of them was Merrill. I think the first one was, I don't even know. Who did I have first? Oh, Soderstrom was my favorite.
I like that. Soderstrom won quite a bit. For my 4th and final one, I'll go Taylor Ward at 365. So we got Riley Green, Dalton Varsho, Paul Goldschmidt, Taylor Ward as the 4 Spidey Bombs today. Beer's about to come in and say, what the hell, man? You picked 2 of the guys from my 6-pack today. Well, that's a large portion of the content I absorbed today because that's when I'm filling in for Steve. And so I'm not stealing them, just sharing them. I think Dalton Varsho and Goldschmidt are both going to be knocking one out of the park today. We do have the Crunch Time crew here and ready to rock. So let's bring them in. On without further ado, we got Crunch Time. How you doing, guys? I swear, Beer, I didn't notice I took 2 of your 6-pack plays as my Spidey Bombs until after I put the names. But as soon as I saw you there, I went, wait a minute. I've seen these names before. And so great minds think alike today.
That's what I'm rolling with. I'm good with it, man. That's great minds think alike, and let's get them home runs out of them boys.
Roth, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. Great call on the Minnesota game last night. They said they wanted to play. You said no way in hell, and you were right.
You know what? No one has. You were the first person to even mention how hard I absolutely nailed that last night. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would have some pushback there, Roth, because I've seen a couple tweets prior. They might get it in. They might not get it in.
No, I was.
That was
you
crunch
mentioned
time,
unders.
though. Crunch time on. He said, "I don't think you can play them."
I got on crunch time. I just said, don't do it. They're not playing this game. This is crazy. This was just an absolute masterpiece of forecasting, Bobby.
All right. You know what that
He's
just
like,
tells
yeah,
us?
I disagree.
Bobby's not watching Crunch Time.
No, I am watching Crunch Time. I watched Crunch Time. He said no. I asked him. And then I read some tweets that he put out there, and I was a little skeptical. I thought I had to get back in there real quick. And then he put out another tweet, though, prior to the game. And
TJ, I'd like to say it's just really refreshing when you cited somebody else's for the content that you use, which is perfect. We all do it. You need to do it. Unlike, another host in the business, Dean, who he never really cites where the content's coming from. So it's really refreshing. I like that.
No such thing as plagiarism when you're citing your sources.
That's fair.
We got nothing else from us, I think, Roth. So if you are ready to go, feel free to take it away. I did rank. Beer, I can't remember how old your kids are. I know you have some daughters, but I feel like they've grown up a little. But Roth and KirkDiese, did you get a chance to see the tiers? And what are your thoughts on the toddler TV rankings we have here?
Let's see what we got. Yes. I don't know what the bottom show is, and I'm glad I've never seen it. That's a hell of a list, TJ.
Heck yeah. Caillou's the worst. It's good that you haven't seen it. Just the little spoiled little bald kid, and he's so just like talking shit to his parents all the time, and he's worst.
Have you seen Coco Melon?
I've not seen Coco Melon.
No. Yeah, it would be it would have been mine bottom of the list one. So I think it's
everybody's got the one that they've seen too many times and just wants no part of whatsoever. But
we should do a movies one next time.
I try to do a movies one.
That was Bobby's. Bobby gave me
that
an idea, but wouldn't give me a list, and it was after I had already made a list. And so next Bobby show, I will be using Bobby's idea.
I watched Jumanji, the old one. Recently.
Moana. Just my kid can't watch it enough.
Moana, yeah, my kid likes Moana.
And Moana too as well.
Jumanji, I remember it scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
it's fair.
All right, guys, we're out of here. R.I.P. DGen75, guys. Industry great. Just want to throw it out there.
For sure. That was incredibly sad to
very sad stuff.
See witness the whole thing, but credit to him for he had the best attitude. I checked out his content. He was, funny. He was good. He was positive. He was always positive, and it's just crazy.
Okay, with that, TJ, Bobby, you guys can get out of here. We will dive into some content side of things. Welcome to it, ladies and gents. You know the drill. It's crunch time at two of the sharpest minds in the biz and a dog. We got Beer in the house. That's my dog, Beer. What's up?
My dog is going ape shit about something up there. So I don't know. The wife and kids aren't here. It's probably an Amazon delivery. There's usually multiple of those throughout the day. Not a big fan of the Amazon guy, but I don't know. I'll try to stay on mute here. I don't know what he's going crazy about.
It's all good. Yeah, you can barely hear it. We got KirkDiese in the house as well. Kirkwood, how are you?
Sad day in Boston. George went passing. Norm, cheers. But like the slate, baseball. I feel like I'm rolling finally. I'm getting over this sickness, so I'm doing well.
Okay, very good. Well, we do have to do a little weather combo. 2 games where we could see rain, and I assume, is this one of those split slates where FanDuel has the early games?
It's on both.
We're good. The same start times.
Same start, same slates.
Okay, and that would mean the Pittsburgh game is not on either.
Correct.
Yep. 7:05 and later on both.
Well, that's good. The Pittsburgh game, by the way, is probably going to play, but they're going to have to play in rain in case you're trying to sports bet it or whatever. That leaves the only concern for us being in Chicago. I have a lot of rain, heavy rain around Chicago, but it is supposed to fade out, and I feel right now it's going to be a late start and play. I'm not going to call it fully safe, but I think it's a late start and play. So we'll monitor. I'll keep an eye on things over there, but as it currently stands, I would play it. Does that work for you guys?
Yep. Hefty wind blowing in there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a wind blowing in. I think it was from left. And then if there's a long late start, it'll shift a little bit more and kind of be a bit across the field and in from left. But yeah, it's better pitching weather than hitting weather for sure. It's kind of cold there as well. And that's it. That's my whole spiel as far as the weather goes. So let's dive into the rest, the goods. We like to start talking about some pitchers and beer. You can lead us off.
A lot of options tonight, and I think at all different price points. So it's one of those slates. You have Coors Field. Are you going to spend up there? Are you going to spend up on pitching? So some people hate Coors Field slates. I like it. It makes people kind of take a stand on things. So Skubal doesn't need much analysis. I mean, if you can make him work, he's very expensive. Can be tough to get him in. I think he's your clear-cut option. Then you drop down a little bit. I like Henderson from Milwaukee. We don't have a huge sample here, but the sample we have has been pretty damn good. I mean, 7 and 9 strikeouts. Yes, it's the Baltimore Orioles, not the easiest matchup in the world, but strikeouts aplenty in this spot. 6th highest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. 5 guys at 24% or higher strikeout rate. So he's risky. Cash games, there's probably better options, probably safer options, but I really like the upside. FanDuel, he's only 8,200. So rare to see a pitcher cheaper over there, 9,500 on DraftKings, but I love that upside. But that one's not for everybody. The savings to me probably stops at Will Warren at 7,500, been pitching well, consistent. Don't hate the matchup here. Going to be popular, though. Skubal, Warren, probably the safest, easiest pairing in cash games. Henderson, I'm mixing in tournaments. If for whatever reason you can't get the Warren, Fetty is okay. If you need the savings, I would try to find a way to get to Warren. I'm not seeing much below Warren. Fetty's probably the only one that I would go to. Just a lot of openers, a lot of guys that don't project very well. So pretty limited trade for me. There's a lot of options, but these are the guys I'm going with. Luzardo's interesting in Coors Field. Keep an eye on the ownership there. Sometimes people avoid Coors Field. Looks like people are attacking the spot with good reason. So those are the guys for me. Skubal, if you can make it work. Love Henderson, especially in GPPs. And Warren looks a little bit too cheap at 7,500.
Okay, good stuff, Beer. Kirkwood, let me bring you in here. Your favorite pitching combo on DK82. And then Jerry says on FanDuel, is there like a cash pitcher to build around there?
Okay. I mean, so the answer to the FanDuel first, you just play Skubal and cash on FanDuel.
Yeah.
I'm playing Logan Henderson. I don't really believe in him that much. He's really done this. He has this incredible strike rate through 2 starts, and he's basically done it with 2 pitches, with a 94-mile-per-hour four-seamer and a changeup that he throws a lot. He does have a couple of other pitches. He's got the slider. He's got like a cutter, I think, but he hasn't used it much. But I am going to roll him out because he's cheap on FanDuel, and it's more so that I'm just going against the Baltimore offense in general. I know it's a good spot when it's the first time they're seeing someone like him. So I think he can get it done, but long term, I'm not high on him. So he's my GPP guy on FanDuel and the guy that I'm playing. On DraftKings, the 2 together. So Will Warren is chalk. He's 7,500. He brings a nice strikeout rate to the table. Matchup with Texas isn't scary. It's not the best matchup. It's not the worst. I do kind of worry there's an extreme hitters up there, and he can get a little rough with his command at times. But I'm still playing him. He's 7,500. He's cheap. It's just kind of I want the bats, and he's kind of the guy that I feel most confident with for strikeout upside. At that price, Skubal, if you can fit him, but I'm probably not going to go that route tonight at 11.5 on DK. I'm just going to, because there's a couple Philly bets I want to play, and then I'm going to take Cease. Cease is an ace, and he's priced like he's not, and it's been like that all season. It's taken a little while to get in his groove. He's gotten in his groove the last 2 starts. Toronto's not the best strikeout matchup, but any of these aces, when they're on their game, they can strike out anybody. So I'm playing him at 8,800. If I have this next guy I like behind him would be Luzardo. I am on a full fade alert on Birdsong getting ownership. He has been pitching out of the pen, and he has a 25% strikeout rate out of the bullpen, which you see 25%, you're like, oh, okay, but that's where he's throwing his absolute hardest, like right from the get-go. That really probably translates to like a 20% for a starter. And he's also walking 10% of the guys. So high walks, low strikeouts, and a low pitch count. And people are going to play him tonight because they need to fit all the bets. So I'm on a full fade on this guy. And like I would go with Fetty, even though he's not great, but at least like the pitch count, and he does have it in him to throw for upside. So that's where I would go. But the main guys, it's just there's 4 of them for me. I'll repeat it. It's Warren, Scuball, Cease, and Luzardo.
Okay. Real quick, if you're trying to save a little bit of money, say like Warren Cease combo, does that have upside? I need to mute. Hang on.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing tonight.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about the bats.
Not as high on Cease, but I get it. He's right. He's definitely underpriced. The strikeout upside is there. So yeah, you're basically the Scooble not go out and throw a huge game. You're going to be fine, if you go that route. And the bats that you're going to open up by not spending on Scooble could negate that difference you're going to have there.
Good stuff. Let's talk bats and stacks. And Kirkwood, I'll let you lead us off there. Who are we stacking up?
Yeah, we got a lot of offense going. So you saw what happened in Coors yesterday. The Phillies just went ham at the end of the game, and with that bullpen. That's the thing there. Like you never it just always happens. Whether it's like the 8th inning, the 9th inning, or they go out right up from the beginning. When you have a good power hitting team, and we have that again. And Sensatella, yes, high ground balls, but these guys hit fly balls, and these guys, hit for power. So like I like the home run upside. There's not much strikeout risk on any of these guys. They're going to be putting balls in play in Coors. So they're the rightful chalk for a reason. But we have a lot of other really strong offenses as well. I guess I would rank them for me, and I did rank them. I have Philly number 1. I have Oakland number 2. I think there's a lot of home run upside in Oakland against Kyle Hendricks in that bullpen. So I like all Rooker's my favorite home run spot tonight, and Lawrence Butler. I like all the home run guys. Soderstrom, the Dodgers. Their lineup is finally coming back together. They were able to send back Outman down. They've got Teoscar back in the swing of things. They've got Edman back. So this is the Dodger lineup. So I'm expecting them to get going again. They had a rough night last night. Shohei always gets there, but I think the whole team's going to get there tonight. Then I like Seattle, but that weather is a little scary for me. Like you said, in the Chicago game, that's the Seattle side that I like. And then the Yankees, you got to go against Corbin, although he does have great MAGA splits. Have you seen that? Anytime Trump is in office, he's been really, really good. So he has great MAGA splits, and some people are saying that's why he's doing it this season. But I'm not a believer in him. He can still get shelled with the best, and the Yankees are a lineup that can absolutely just go ham tonight. So I'm in on the Yankees.
Quick note on was it Seattle that's in Chicago, Kirkwood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a game where if you want to stack that up, I feel okay with it. If there's like a one piece that you want from it, it's maybe one of those like take a pivot, play somebody else. Unless it's just an incredible play and you love it, I feel like you should either just stack it up and put all your chips in, or just kind of build around it and don't worry about it. Don't risk it. If there is some sort of magnificent piece in that game that you want and need, that's fine. I get it. But it is the only game with risk on the whole slate. So in theory, if you can avoid it, I would prefer it. But I do think the game plays after a late start. Beer, what are some of your favorite stacks?
I mean, Philly, obviously, seven run projected for Philly tonight in Coors. So I don't know how many 7s I've ever seen in my life, even in Coors. So that's clearly deserves to be the chalk. Good matchup. But Senzatella, to me, one of the worst pitchers in all of baseball. I have the Yankees second. This whole MAGA Corbin crap. I'm not buying this Patrick Corbin stuff. I mean, the guy's given up 56 home runs to right-handed hitters since 2023. You have the top 2 guys against lefties this season in pretty much every statistical category. And Judge, Goldschmidt, LeMahieu's got a strong history against him. So I really like the Yankees tonight. I think that could be kind of your pivot away if you're going to stay away from Philadelphia for whatever reason. I like the Yankees. Like both sides of that Angels-A's game. Huge total there. The A's will be much more popular, I would think, than the Angels. But really good pricing on the Angels tonight. So like both sides of that one. And I'm going to add Tampa Bay in here as well. Another cheap team. A lot of pieces that I really like tonight.
Okay, good stuff. Let's do a little around the horn, position by position. Let's start with the old catcher spot. And Beer, you can lead us off there.
So there's some great options if you want to spend here. You know, I know this is normally a position people want to save, but obviously Real Muto in Coors, Cal Raleigh in a good spot. But I think there's some solid guys in the mid-range as well. I mentioned that A's and Angels game. So Logan O'Hoppe is a guy I really like. Langeliers. Both of those kind of mid-range prices. And then I think there's good value here in guys like Danny Jansen and Caratini. So Jansen down the lineup a little bit, so I don't expect him to have a ton of ownership. He hasn't had the season that he's had last season, but still a lot of upside in that bat. And Caratini, slotting hard of the order, super cheap there as well. So your spends, Real Muto, Raleigh, mid-range, O'Hoppe and Langeliers, and Jansen, Caratini for value.
Good stuff. Kirkwood, catcher.
Yeah, I got the Jansen Dong last night, and I'm going right back tonight. I'm actually even playing him on FanDuel.
By the way, I called that Jansen Dong as well. Did you call it last night?
I saw you call it, and I was like, I'm rolling with my man Roth.
Yeah,
so that's what I did.
I feel like you're making that up, but if that's true, I love it.
No, honestly,
yes, love that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options, but I'll start with DraftKings. Langeliers, you like to call him 3,900, massive home run upside, batting fifth. It's probably the top play. Real Muto's in play just because he's in Philly, but he's for Philly. I'm saying he's batting seventh, which is a little down in the lineup for him, and also he's 4,900. Danny Jansen is the value, the punt play at 2,400. I like that. Cal Raleigh was the massive chalk yesterday, but if you are comfortable, going in that game, if you give us the okay in Chicago, 5,400. He's probably going to be extremely low owned after busting yesterday and also the weather concerns. So don't mind that. And then Logan O'Hoppe. I also for FanDuel, it would be Langeliers, the same guys, Real Muto, although William Contreras at 3,100 against Aiken, who's horrendous for Baltimore. Looks like a really strong play to me. And then, again, Logan O'Hoppe.
Okay, good stuff. How about first base?
I also want to say that, Beer, did you give out DJ LeMahieu BVP? Is that what you said a little bit?
I mean, that's a big sample. So, yeah,
I'm going to declare BVP absolutely real if that happens. If DJ LeMahieu goes yard tonight, it is the realest thing on the planet. Anyway, first base, over at obviously Bryce Harper on FanDuel. You can play Alec Boehm there, who homered yesterday for Philly. You can do him at first or third on FanDuel. Tyler Soderstrom brings the home run upside. Paul Goldschmidt, as Beer said, he's mashing this season versus lefties. He's having a great season in general, but 3,500 leadoff against Corbin. I'm sure there's probably some BVP there too. I haven't seen it, but I would think there probably is. So I got to like him. Christian Walker and Yandy Diaz would be the other guys. And then I'll look at DraftKings. Shohei Ohtani, he just homer. Like I went to bed and just woke up and saw that he homer. Like I had a home run bet from him, and it cashed. He just always homers, even how bad the Dodgers are doing or not. But so it's Shohei. There's a lot of power here. Shohei or Harper. Yandy Diaz is the affordable one. The wind is blowing out a little bit in the Tampa Stadium.
Yes, it is gently, but and it's hot again. It's good hitting.
Yep, and this Walter is suspect for the Astros. His repertoire isn't that great. He's okay, but I certainly side with the Tampa bats in this one. So I like all the home run guys again, and even though they busted yesterday, besides Jansen. Other than that, on DraftKings, if you need someone cheap, you got the Angels guy, Nolan Chanel. So I forgot how to pronounce it, but 3K, massive game yesterday. I hate going back to him right after the massive game, but I doubt he'll be too popular, and he's 3K and has home run upside. in that good Oakland Park. And then Jonathan Aranda for Tampa, big home run upside for 4,300.
Okay, good stuff. Beer, your favorites at first base, please.
So high-end Harper and Coors, Ohtani, those guys are always in play. I think an interesting pivot, Freddie Freeman probably won't see a ton of ownership. So, you still get that same spot that Ohtani's getting at a nice price and ownership discount. Goldschmidt's my favorite. We got some Cy Corbin talk in the chat. So, yes, he has added some extra pitches now as a slider, but Goldschmidt and Judge have just mashed that pitch and left-handed pitching. So I absolutely love Goldschmidt. He gives you a little bit of stolen base upside as well. I mean, we're not talking Ohtani here, but, a little bit of upside there, hitting lead off. So really like him. If you don't want to spend, Yandy Diaz is probably my favorite at 3.8, Christian Walker at 3.4 in the heart of the lineup. A low-owned play, somebody brought up Milwaukee in the chat, Rhys Hoskins, I think it's in a decent spot here. I don't think he'll see a bunch of ownership. And then a couple guys I'm just going to continue to play, Roth. Vinny Pasquantino has been digging in my pockets, stealing money all season long, but we're going to continue to go there. And the same with Kurtz from the Athletics. Super cheap, only a matter of time before this guy breaks out. So those are a couple of my favorites down low, Pasquantino and Kurtz, if you need the savings.
Okay, good stuff. Take me to second base, Beer.
Not a strong position here when I'm talking DJ LeMahieu. So, this is probably to me the weakest position on the slate. Stott is obviously the top option if you can make him work. Did the Dodgers lineup come out? And is Edman in there? So he's another guy. Like, don't see him in the lineup.
But
like
Kim starting at second for them.
Okay, so Kiki Hernandez could be all right as well. So I Stott, I'm locking in LeMahieu in my Yankee stacks, and then maybe some value here with Hernandez.
Okay, good stuff. Kirkwood, your thoughts at second?
Sure. Price and Stott, obviously. FanDuel, I'm looking at first. Jorge Polanco's been, we got that weather game, so probably skip that. But if it plays, Altuve, Mookie Betts, Morel's just cheap, and I like some of these home run upside guys for Tampa that are all cheap. So Christopher Morel, you can play him basically anywhere on each site. Second base, third base, outfield eligible for FanDuel. Those are my guys. Over on DraftKings, I like Bryson Stott, obviously. Again, Altuve is cheap. Price keeps coming down on the other side in Tampa in that game. Then there's Rojas for really cheap if the weather plays for the White Sox side. So he was a punt I was looking at, but I'm probably going to avoid it now because of the weather. But 2,400 if that game plays, I like it. Man, it's kind of gross. Maybe Jackson Holiday would be the one Baltimore bat I like. Man, second base is rough.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to third, which is maybe better.
Yeah,
maybe?
Much better. Well, kind of. Yandy Diaz, first or third eligible on DraftKings. Alec Boehm down in the order at 4,100. Homered yesterday. I like him. Isaac Paredes always has the power for the Houston side. Batting second, 3,700. Like that a lot. Caminero batting cleanup for Tampa. I like that a lot. I'm going hard on Tampa tonight. And I had them yesterday. They fizzled, but I had Philly that got me going, got me there anyway, at least for cashing. So I'll take it, but I'm going strong tonight with Tampa. And then Max Muncy, 3,500. And then I'll look over on FanDuel, and it is all the same guys. Polanco, Boehm, Paredes, Caminero, Morel, or Muncy.
I mean, you just sound horrible. You
Yeah,
just
I'm sorry. You know what it is? Like I my voice was fine till like
you didn't talk all day because you're sick, and then you start talking and it starts going out on you.
My voice was totally fine, and like I was like, okay, I can do the show, and then I get on here and I'm like,
yeah. Man, sorry. We appreciate you gutting it out for us. I know you're battling for us, so thank you. Beer, I want your thoughts at third. First, I want to note that Poe Degen Stoner says, "Thank you, Beer, for your 6-pack videos."
Got it, man. Thank you for watching. Still love doing them. So I don't know how long it's been, but We'll keep cranking them out as long as people keep watching them. So
yeah, I
thank you.
enjoy the hell out of them. If anytime I come across one, I'm like, yep, I'm not even playing GFS. I just enjoy watching it. I don't know. It's a good formula, man.
Appreciate it, Roth. So third base, pretty similar names for me here that Kirkwood had. I love both the Tampa Bay guys. I think that's where you start. Yandy Caminero, Alec Boehm priced down, which makes sense. He's down in the lineup, but 4,100 with that kind of power in Coors Field. I'll take that. Max Muncy, a guy that remains too cheap. This is one of my favorite buy lows right now. Get access to that Dodgers lineup, the $3,500 price point. So really like him as well. And then I'm going to add Mancada as long as he's in the lineup here. Didn't see that late lineup, but yeah, he's hitting third. So I am not a Gunnar Hoglund fan. I love the Angels tonight. So Mancada, add another Angel for me.
Okay, good stuff, Beer. Let's go to the old shortstop position.
So again, Philly can just name everybody. So Trey Turner in play here. My favorite, if you want a little bit of savings, is Zach Neto of the Angels. We'll add another Angels bat here. Guy's really been playing well, swinging a good bat right now. Wilson on the other side's in play as well. Volpe, another one of the Yankees that I really like. The righties against Corbin. Caballero for Tampa Bay you can utilize here. And then Willie Adames, kind of like Muncy, just remains too cheap. Still under 4K. Don't see a lot of traction on the Giants tonight. So this spot, pretty loaded up with options. I mean, I didn't even mention a guy like Bobby Witt, Gunnar Henderson. So there's a ton of different guys, ton of different price points here. But I really love Nato tonight for the Angels.
Okay, good stuff. Kirkwood, your thoughts at short? Nice.
This Philip Seymour Hoffman, when he does in the long game poly, that scene? He's like,
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Anyways, shortstop, Jose, the Tampa guys are cheap. Caballero, 3,400 is nice on DraftKings. Trey Turner, obviously. Jeremy Pena, 4K, batting leadoff. JP Crawford, 3,500 batting leadoff. Jacob Wilson, you can use. People call him a slap hitter, and then he hits 2 homers in a game, which was pretty crazy to see. I like the Neto call from Beers. And then you have a lot of the high-powered stuff too, but they're kind of expensive, so I'm probably not getting to Mookie Betts, but wouldn't fault you for playing on 5,900 Bobby Witt. I definitely am not getting to tonight, and then Gunnar Henderson I'm not getting to. So I'm deciding either if I'm going up, it's Trey Turner. If I'm going down, I'll just take the savings for like Crawford, Pena. Tovar has been going crazy since he came back from injury in his 2 games, but 35 fantasy points and followed up with 19 fantasy points. He's the one Rocky guy who's just hitting right now. So he's 3,100. So I definitely like that. And then over on FanDuel, it's you can play Bryson Stott or Trey Turner from Phillies. Then Mookie's a little bit more reasonable. Neto, same guys, Pena, Crawford, Wilson, and Bobby Witt's a little more reasonable. And Gunnar Henderson, certainly reasonable at 3,200. And I'll throw Volpe out there. He's been terrible this season against right-handed pitching, but against the lefties, he's been pretty solid. So 3,100 in that Yankees lineup, it doesn't look so bad. And then Tovar is 3,200 on FanDuel.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. You get the honor and the privilege of taking us to the outfield. Kirkwood, what are we doing?
Feels great. Kyle Schwarber, obviously massive home run in the upper deck late in the game. Probably does it a little bit earlier tonight in the game. Rooker is my favorite spot for a home run, who's not a Philly. He's 3,200. I also like Lawrence Butler for 2,900. I do like the A's a lot. Aaron Judge, obviously 4,800. He's like approaching even money status for betting his home runs. Now it's totally crazy what he's doing. Castellanos, 3,300. Max Kepler is playing for Philly. Brings some home run upside for 3,100. Soderstrom, Arozarena, Jackson Churio. And then for the really cheap, if you need him in the outfield or second at third, Christopher Morel. And then on DraftKings, Shohei, Aaron Judge, Brent Rooker, Julio Rodriguez came through with the Grand Slam. If that weather game goes, I would be back on him. Lawrence Butler, I already said I like him. Kyle Schwarber, I like, obviously. Soderstrom, Kepler, it's all the same names. Arozarena, and Morel is only outfield for DraftKings.
Okay. Beer, got a lot of names there. Who are some of your favorites in the outfield?
I mean, Philadelphia, you can play any of these guys. So Marsh, bottom of the lineup, but super cheap. So we'll add him to the mix to go with Schwarber. Obviously, and Kepler, probably my favorite too. But if you need that savings, don't mind going cheap with Marsh or even a wraparound stack. Love Aaron Judge tonight. Great spot against Cy Corbin, as he's being called in chat. But the guy is just at another level.
You don't know Eric Johnson, huh? You're not.
No, I know. I'm playing along with the side.
This is what he does every
I
single.
know.
The worst play, he will flip it and constantly say how much he likes it.
He has been good. So I mean, I've been targeting Corbin for years with righties, and you have to give him his flowers here. He has been better. I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off. So Goldschmidt Judge going to homer tonight against old Cy Corbin, but. So love the Yankees. Varsho, a guy I really like, been swinging a good bat since he came back. Only 4,200. Yes, it's still in cease, but should be super low owned. So kind of a one-off play there for Toronto. Some of the Milwaukee outfielders here, Churio, Collins has been playing well. He's only 2.6. And then that Athletics Angels game. Love Soderstrom, Butler, Rooker, and then Ward and Soler on the other side. So that's a game if you need some savings. That's probably where I would center in on. But really love Ward. I think he's a cheap price point. 5 home runs in his last 7 games, I believe. So he's probably my favorite value right now.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff, guys. The people will want some home run calls, and we want to answer their questions as well. So be thinking about a few names who you like for some bombs. In the meantime, I want to give the people the best deal in the industry. MLB DFS annual option, 425 schmackaroos. But we've dropped the price of our Combo Pro product to mirror the MLB annual package. So you get more stuff for the same price. Combo Pro 6 months gives you full access to content, tools, and projections for every sport except NASCAR at a cheaper price than the monthly package. In fact, you're saving roughly 35% by going with the 6 month instead of the month by month by month. So I highly recommend you do it. Let's talk some bombs, Kirkwood. I nailed one in Tampa yesterday. Now we need your bomb calls.
Well, I'm going to go right back to Tampa.
Let's do it.
I'm going to say
Caminero.
Caminero, correct. Or I would prefer Morel to hit it, but I'll take either.
Okay, I'm on board. How about something that's chalky, expensive? You need him to hit a home run, otherwise you shouldn't have paid the price type.
Well, for DraftKings, Brent Rooker. For the top power bat for the A's. Okay. My voice, Jesus Christ.
Very good. You're good. Beer, you got a few names for me as well?
We've all been through it, Kirkwood. The voice, the sickness, like it's just this weather, Roth. I mean, it was in the 80s here the other day, and now it's in the 50s and raining and killing me.
You can't survive that. I get it.
I have 2 home runs that I've bet for tonight. Taylor Ward is one at plus 350, and Goldschmidt is at plus 500 on FanDuel. So we're going to test this Cy Corbin or Goldschmidt here matchup, but plus 500 is a great number. I mean, Judge, obviously, but you're getting that right around plus 200 or less tonight. So 5-1 on Goldie is my longer shot of the night.
How old is Goldschmidt? I'm Googling that right now. 37. Okay.
He was the cover boy for my gutless rankings last year.
Okay.
He sucked last year.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Okay. Is he still sucking this year or no? He's actually
he's
killing it.
Yeah, like the Yankees are getting a lot out of him and Bellinger, which both of those guys were declining.
Right. It's the juice. Hey, let's answer some QQs. Let's see what the people got. Starting as always in the Discord. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit us with the thumbs up. It is free content. One of us just battling through the elements here, trying to survive. The other one trying to keep a dog in line. I've got 2 toddlers I'm currently neglecting to be here with you. Hit the thumbs up for us.
I have heartburn.
TJ's got heartburn. Dude, you're too young to have heartburn, TJ. That's like a.
I
you
got
gotta
a
be
weird
35.
heartburn problem. I gotta take a medication.
Dude, there is nothing worse than waking up in the middle of the night by heartburn. Like you feel like you're
Oh.
dying. You ever like you
yes.
ever eat like a whole pepperoni pizza like right before you fell asleep?
Yeah.
All
You guys ever the acid reflux? Does any of you guys
Yeah.
have that? That is the
It's like bright.
absolute
It's like
worst. Oh, it's
you think you're dying and you can't
it
do
wakes
anything.
you up
Like,
in the middle of the night. It's the literal worst.
yeah.
like just
Um,
shoots up, and then that taste, and it's
Ugh.
so
Yeah.
bad.
I
Roth, I want to add one more home run before
Please.
we're gonna test the BVP theory, and I am gonna go bet this home run. We're gonna bet DJ LeMahieu at
nice.
plus 1,100 against Patrick Corbin. Plus 1,100.
Ooh, love it. Okay, I'm on board. Let's see what we got for some of these QQs. What's
I
up?
gotta get in on that. I'm gonna throw a little on that.
Yeah,
just for
I mean,
beer.
11
I like
to 1 is,
I'm gonna
I
throw
feel
some
like
beer
this-
money on it. Some beer
Yeah.
money.
there you go.
I think this should be kind of a community bet. I feel like if you're watching, I feel like we should get in on that. A few bucks, put down a couple bucks and see what happens with that 11 to 1.
$4 and $44. $5
Right.
you're over 50. Like, let's take a shot. I get it.
Yeah.
It's DJ LeMahieu, but 11 to 1. We'll have a little fun.
It's 10. You're throwing $10 and you're getting 110 if
There
you're.
you go.
I think that's where you got to enter in at.
All right, let's see what we got here. Some of these QQs rolling on in, and we will start with Steve O, who says, Beer, DK single entry, thoughts on a D-backs stack. They just touched up Yamamoto 12 days ago, and they are on fuego currently. Fire emoji, eyeball emoji.
I don't hate it. We didn't even talk about Yamamoto in our pitching section. So as good as he's been, this is a very good offense. Some potent bats in that lineup. Carroll's been on fire. Marte's been on fire. Some of the prices look more than fair, and you're going to have no ownership there. So I don't mind it. Dodgers going to score some runs. It may push it. Their projected team totals up near 6. May push the Diamondbacks to obviously have to keep up. So I think it's a great call.
Yeah. By the way, a lot of the chat saying they're tailing that bet. Some people getting it in at like plus 950, plus 900, but
Let's do it.
we're in. It's going to be a big win when he hits one. Let's see what else we've got. DK, Kirkwood, Harper, Ty Freeman, or Walker and Stott.
I get just the two cores back. It's Harper and Freeman.
Yeah. I had someone mention in the chat, they said San Francisco winds are blowing out at 15 miles per hour. The winds are one thing about San Francisco, the winds are always blown out at 15 miles per hour, and it doesn't it doesn't matter. The stadium was designed to make sure that doesn't matter. So don't get too excited about winds blowing out in that particular spot. Let's see your favorite Philly bats, Beer. Rank your favorite Philly bats.
Schwarber's number 1. I mean, he's expensive, but heart of the order against Sanzatella. I'll take that. I'm gonna go with Stott number 2, just because second base is such a tough position. So I just like locking him in. Harper has not been the Harper that we know and love. Coors could help unlock that a little bit. So I'm gonna put him 4th. Actually, I'm gonna go Schwarber, Stott, Turner, Harper. And then Alec Boehm 5th. I know he's sitting down the lineup, but cheap access to that lineup. Team total of 7. So don't be afraid to go down and grab some of these 7, 8, 9 guys that are going to be lower owned and much cheaper than the big dogs.
Okay, I like it. Kirkwood, got a question for you from Sherman's Tanks. FanDuel Cash completing a mini stack. You want Miguel Andujar with Rooker and Butler, or Jose Caballero with Yandy Diaz?
Probably Andujar.
Yeah, okay. Bill T making fun of us all for our heartburn. He's 70. He's in his 70s, and he says we cannot complain. We got to toughen up because you don't know what it's like when you're in your 70s. It's fair.
He
It's fair.
ain't wrong.
Yeah, well,
I think at any age there could be 22-year-olds in this chat, and if you have heartburn or acid reflux, it don't matter how old you are.
it'll
It
get
just
you.
is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, TJ can't be more than like 26, and he's talking
it's a
heartburn.
fact.
So
That is true.
Yeah, I'm 22.
22.
Just started gambling last year.
see?
In actuality, it hits it when it gets you. It gets you.
This is I can only drink 2 days in a row now. If I try to drink a third day in a row, I feel it in here. So I'm down. It's 2 days max for for the good stuff. Let's see what else we've got. Blink 182 says, Kirkwood, I know this is gross. DK large field tournament, Kurtz and Rengifo, or Shanuel and Curtis Mead.
Oh,
Second option.
yeah, we're digging there.
Yeah.
At least they prefaced it with, I know this is gross,
Right.
Or Roth did, but yeah, that's digging deep.
Let's see. Into the YouTube, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hit us with the thumbs up. We still have 15 minutes until lock, which is a long time. Your questions can be about baseball, they can be about beer, or they can be about dinner or heartburn. Those are the 4 topics that we're up for discussing today. Jorge says, pick one in DK Cash, Kirkwood, Goldie, J-Rod, or Soderstrom.
Well, if weather permits, if you give the okay with Chicago, Seattle, I would take J-Rod. I think Goldie is a fine second option. I think there's a little more risk with Soderstrom, but he does have the upside, but I would more play him. And I think they're both fine, actually. So it would be between Soderstrom or Goldie, but I'll say Goldie.
Okay. I feel like that's kind of one of those spots where if you like the non-bad weather guy, play the non-bad weather guy. So that is what I would approve. But again, I think they'll play in Chicago. I just can't promise it. Jake says, DK single entry beer, Stott, Ward, or LeMahieu and Schwarbombs.
Testing my LeMahieu love here. I'm going to go with the first set, though. I like locking in Stott. We're having fun with LeMahieu. I'm only playing LeMahieu in some Yankee stacks and this 11-1 home run bet, to be clear. Stott, locking in, and I think Ward is too cheap. So that's the easy one for me.
Okay. Balance Unlimited says, hey, anything can happen in course. How about a Rocky stack? Beer?
He's not wrong. And I saw somebody else asking, can you fade the Phillies tonight? It's baseball. You can fade anybody at any time. I think there's plenty of ways you can go. Is it risky? Is it dangerous? Yeah, they have a 7-run total, but sure, you can do it. So Luzardo is good. I don't think he's immune to being blown up. So there is some good bats in that Colorado lineup. Don't hate it.
Okay. Black Maine says, Kirkwood, Warren, or Henderson, FanDuel GPP.
FanDuel GPP, Henderson.
Yes.
So,
for sure.
So this is what I'm doing, Beer. This is all your fault. I have a home run boost for 50% on FanDuel, and I am going to bet it for the max, which is 200. So I'm putting 200 on DJ LeMahieu to hit a home run that pays out 27.20.
Here's all I'll ask. We have beers together after he goes yard.
Yeah, man, I've never wanted someone to hit a home run more in my whole life.
Me neither.
That is an absolutely absurd bet.
I got to look. Does he even have home runs on the season?
Right. Yes.
Dude, this guy, he's so washed. I was just saying how washed he was yesterday.
He is. Let's check his stats. He's got 1 home run on the year. He's only played a couple games. He homered the other day on the 17th. So
okay, he's hot. He's hot.
He's rolling in, red hot.
Yeah.
I just
what do we got?
Here's a little parlay in the chat. LeMahieu, Flores, and Schwarber. $1 to win 1,500. Oh,
all right. Yeah,
Schwarber got to hit 2 though for that one.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's some crazy ass odds of $1 to 1,500.
All right, TJ, I just sent you the ticket. Show the ticket if you can on the screen.
All right, give me 1 second. I would just will.
And you can title it the dumbest bet of my life, probably. But
you can pin that one on me. You're not feeling well. You might be on some meds. I've
do it for the chat.
Yeah,
let's go. It's gonna be glorious if he hits it out.
It really will be.
Here's the rules: no ats if he doesn't. Oh, you told me.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
There it is.
Look at this guy. Love it.
Whew.
And that's a hefty. That's nice, man. I might have to up my.
If he hits a bomb, will someone please at me? Because I'm not. I will have no idea. So somebody hit me up on Twitter if he hits a bomb.
Derek Frederick says, "Do it for Phil."
Yeah.
Let's see. Stott or bomb? Stott or.
Uh-oh. Roth's gone.
Oh,
I'll answer.
They accidentally exited me instead of Roth, though. My bad.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll go Stott there, but Bohm again is nice saving. Stott's just a tough spot. I just don't love second base, so we'll go that route.
Okay. LMI says, just to verify, is Chicago safe to play? It's not safe. I hate that word. It's not safe to play. No. I think it will play, but it's literally the only game that's not safe. It's the only game things could go wrong. I think they probably have a long late start, a multi-hour late start, and then they play without issue. That would be what I think is going to happen. But you could just avoid that drama by not playing it. DK Cash, Beer, Yandy or Paredes?
Yandy, really like Yandy. Good prices. DraftKings still too cheap. But I know he said FanDuel, like him there as well.
Okay. We are paying up here. FanDuel GPP. Beener says Judge or Schwarbombs.
I think Schwarber will be more popular. I'm going to say Judge. I mean, straight away, I prefer Schwarber, but if we factor in ownership, I'll have to look. It might be close, but I'm going to go Judge. Just a little pivot off some ownership.
Okay. Very good. Guys, we have answered all of the questions. If you have questions, get them in. If not, we will leave early. We'll do it. I'll do it. Make sure you hit us with that thumbs up. While
Kirk was not feeling well, so give him a little breather here. Catch his breath before
That's
the
right.
DJ LeMahieu at bat said he's going to sweat all night.
He's going to be yelling.
It's going to be glorious when he hits it, or if he hits warning track. I'm going to be,
right. Just put one in the air. Just give me a fly ball.
Give me a sweat. Give me a sweat.
Right. Yeah. Give him a chance. Hey, we want to make sure you guys are trying our props and pick'em package for a discount. Props and pick'em package features daily prop picks and fantasy pick'em selections from a lot of your favorite RotoGrinders experts. We're knocking 50% of the price of your first month when you sign up with the link below. I think below means it's in the description. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. Judge or Tani in DK, Kirkwood. Judge or Tani?
Give me Ohtani.
Okay. FanDuel single entry. Right back to you, Kirkwood. Ward one-off or Marsh to make a Philly four-man. Ward is a one-off or Marsh, which would make a Philly four-man stack.
Man, I like Ward better in play, but I feel like Marsh is going to be low owned for, no one likes to play those 8-9 guys. Mm-hmm. So, and you have the stack there that's going to be chalky. So I think taking Marsh is the way to go.
Yeah. Okay. A few more questions still coming in. When the questions dry up, we will bounce on out. Jim says, Beer, you want Turner or Harper? Thank you.
Turner. Way more options in the outfield where you don't have to have Harper. Turner, shortstop's not as tough as second, but I'm going to go Turner.
Okay. Very good. Guys, guess what? The questions have dried up. And instead of twiddling our thumbs for 7 minutes, we're going to bounce. We're going to let KirkDiese get a breather, get a break, and we're going to cheer hard. Who was LeMahieu, right? That's
we're going to let the chat and everybody that's joined us get time to get their LeMahieu.
Yeah. Get your LeMahieu bets in.
What number is he batting? Oh, 7th? This is
15th.
This is great.
I don't even know what team is this character on.
Yankees.
Okay, let me just pull up the BVP stats real quick.
Yeah.
Before we go. 63 plate appearances.
Yeah.
22 out of 58. So he's hitting 379 against them. 6 home runs against Patrick Corbin.
Let's go.
BVP.
Let's go.
BVP.
Let's
One
go.
time.
I love it.
One time.
We need some marks in the BVP victory column here against those that hate it or the sample's not big enough, yada, yada, yada. So let's
I've been out on the whole argument because I don't know enough about baseball. BVP, I don't know. I don't care. But if he goes yard, I will officially from now on be team BVP. I will fight for this team if LeMahieu goes yard tonight.
Well, Roth, you better have a bet in then. This is a group effort. So I'm going in and putting more in honor of Kirkwood's big boy bet. So.
There we go. Well, I had the home. I had the boost though, the 50% boost.
I'm using that right now.
Let's see. PGA show, by the way, after this, you got a golf show coming on after this. I want to say it's usually at 20 after? That seems like a weird time. Does that make sense, PJ? What is it?
Quarter after.
Quarter after. All right, 15 after. So you got 15 minutes. It's plenty of time for you to jump out, get some money in DJ LeMahieu, and then tune back in.
I can already see the Twitter feed. I can already, good or bad. I can already see it.
A lot of people making some Cardi notes. Yeah, Cardi is not thrilled with this bet.
He's hating me.
It would just be so great to hit it and get to say "suck it, Cardi" on the tweet.
Great question from John about
Yeah, it
the
is.
LeMahieu BBP. How many of those home runs were in the 1990s?
Probably all of them. But, I mean, again, this is risky, people. That's why they're
Wow,
giving
he
you
played
11 to
at
1.
Coors Field.
They're all in cores, probably.
Absolutely. Every single one.
We did get a couple more questions actually coming in the Discord. Let's knock these out real fast. Beaner says, Casty or Butler beer? Casty or Butler? FanDuel GPP.
I like Butler. Really like the A's tonight. So give me Butler.
Okay. FanDuel single entry. Beer right back to you. Henderson with a Philly 1 through 4 and Dodgers 5 through 9 stack. What do you think?
Yeah, I love Henderson and GPPs. Risky cash games are safer options, but yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Very good. And then the final question of the night looks to be from Michael Wilson. Your favorite stack to win a small field single entry tournament, Kirkwood? You can hang that one.
Tampa Bay.
There you go. I am on board. And with that, we are going to bounce on out of here. You got golf coming up right after this. So for Beer, for Kirkwood, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have